Throwback. I'm not talking about the Timex Marlin. I'm talking about my prediction from 6 years ago when I first reviewed the Timex Weekender, that Timex would see success and do well to reintroduce mechanical watches back into their collection. Well, here we are now in 2018, and we've seen a year of tremendous success from Timex with their Marlin watch, first available in a silver dial. Well, what I have here today is the Todd Snyder exclusive Timex Blackout Marlin, which is basically the same exact Marlin that was released last year, but with the very desirable and talked about black dials. So in this video, we're going to check out the Timex Marlin, and I'll give you my initial thoughts, and you can see the watch for yourself. Okay, so when I got this watch in the mail, I was a little nervous because I thought, oh geez, it came in this big box and it's all dented. Is the inner box going to be all beat up too? But it thankfully comes in a very oversized Todd Snyder shoe box, and there was some bubble packing in here that I ignored. This is just the purchase information from Todd Snyder here. This is new. When I purchased the Timex Waterbury watches, it didn't come in this large box or anything like this. And then there was this, the Marlin, and it did come in a plastic bag initially. Here you can see right away too some interesting details here. You can see movement China, strap China. So you can slide off this cardboard shell, and here we have another Timex box. Again, this is pretty interesting. This is a thick outer Timex box that when you take that off, and this is all nice thick cardboard. This is good. Believe it or not, you have a padded Timex inner box. So this is really pretty impressive so far. I mean, think about this. This is a Timex. This box is padded. It feels very high quality. This is great. This is exciting. And then you open up the box and it's spring loaded. Oh. And there's the Marlin right there. And that's it. That's what you see when you open up this Timex Marlin for the first time, is you just see the watch. You don't see anything else. And the watch does come with a little plastic cover over the dial. So let's take a look at the watch. All right, here is the Timex Marlin Blackout in the flesh. And as you can see, the first thing that stands out filming this outdoors is this marvelous domed mineral crystal. And also, of course, how the light plays off of a glossy black dial as opposed to a silver dial. Now the Marlin, will just touch on some of the basic specifications here. This is a 34mm watch. It's 10mm thick. Some of the major design features are, of course, these handsome sword hands and stylized indices. Love those stylized indices. Of course, this is referencing a 1960s Timex. You've got beautiful semi-detached skinny little lugs and a semi-recessed crown, and basically a fake lizard croc strap. On the back we have a solid case back. You can see the information about the watch there. I left the movement China, strap China sticker on there again because I appreciate how Timex is being full disclosure about this. There's some speculation about the hand winding movement in the Marlin, and most people think it's just a kind of bog seagull movement. These seagull movements are solid, probably about a 40-hour power reserve, but very simple and unfinished. Probably in the full review I'll pull the case back off and we can see for ourselves. I haven't seen anyone do that yet. In the flesh, this watch impresses. It is as nice in real life as it is in the promotional pictures, in my opinion. At 34 millimeters, it's absolutely understated for size, and that is not going to be to everyone's taste. But I'll tell you what, having a 34 millimeter dress watch in your collection is an ace in the hole. There will be times where it will be very helpful for you, situations where a subtle, classy dress watch like this is going to make a difference for your outfit and your preparations. And so my initial impressions of the Blackout are very favorable. I love the glossy black dial. It is kind of slightly radiusly brushed. It's hard to capture in these photos. I loved the recessed crown. I love the skinny little lugs. And most of all, I love these awesome stylized indices, which even with the smaller 34 millimeter size, you just have to keep in mind, and this watch is all dial. There's not a lot of bezel on this watch, and the large indices, even though this watch is comparatively small, make it very readable. Just to further illustrate my claim that the 34 millimeter size is somewhat relative to be considered to the square space the dial takes in the overall design of the watch. Here's my Timex Marlin with side by side with my Rolex Air King, which is also 34 millimeters. And side by side, it's obvious that the Timex appears to be a larger watch. There's definitely more dial than the Rolex. Honestly, if you were just into dressy watches, this could be your two-watch collection right here. Proverbial beater and then your nicer watch, or a watch on a bracelet. But they're both, you know, awesome at what they're doing, and I think that that's the biggest strength of the Marlin. Is Timex came out with a watch that really represents what they were able to do well in the 60s, and now they're uniquely able to do at a sub $200 price range. This is a very classy, timeless dress watch, and because it's a Timex, it's a recognizable, respected brand that rather than the myriad fashion watches and designer watches out there, this watch is going to retain long-term collector interest, and that's something to consider when you're buying perhaps your first nice watch, or thinking about spending a little more on a dress watch, or even if you're looking to just diversify your collection. I guarantee that these Waterburys are going to remain collectible, and especially nice examples of guys who take care of them are going to be desirable. Now currently the Waterbury is only available at Todd Snyder. I've reviewed Waterbury watches from Todd Snyder before. Todd Snyder does some great Timex exclusives. This is definitely nicer than the Waterbury watches that I've reviewed, and it's also only available at Todd Snyder, and so the likelihood of your average watch guy going out of his way to buy it from this one retailer, I think is you know, just not something everyone's going to choose to do. And so again, the prospects of getting a very unique, stylish, and affordable watch from Timex is extremely appealing in my opinion. So I just wanted to make sure I point this out on the back. This is labeled circa 2018. So I wonder what this means in the long run. Is this going to be a limited series, the beginning of a variety of vintage reissues from Timex, the Marlin being the first issued like a 2018 series? Or is this a watch that's going to remain in continuous production and be limited with respect to some of the features that are given on a yearly basis? So like perhaps in future iterations of this watch, a 2020 watch or something, they'll have just a certain dial design available. At any rate, this is a serious alternative, in my opinion, to a lot of the lower level Seikos and Orients that are the standard fare for dress watches. I personally find this watch more stylish than the Bambino, in my opinion, having owned both now. I'm very impressed with the quality initially too. I mean, the design details are solid. This is a nice stainless steel case. Movement seems to be working just fine. You've got pierced lugs, of course, so you can easily switch out straps. Yeah, really no flaws in the watch initially. will wear it and break it in, and you can watch for a full review after I've had a chance to get some experience with the watch, so I can tell you if anything comes up. So please do make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more Timex Marlin Blackout content. So my initial impression of the Timex Marlin Blackout is outstanding. This is just as cool a watch in person as I looked to be when I first saw it on the internet. And the black dial version is the one to get. I'd love to hear from you which version of the Timex Marlin you're interested in, or if there's another dress watch that you think is a solid alternative instead. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. If you really want to support 555 Gear, you can support me on Patreon. We've got a small, great group of guys there, and I would love to have you be a part of that. And as always, thank you very much for watching.